start the show. Hey, let's start the show.
It's July 10th, 2014. Welcome to This Is Only a Test, the official podcast of Tested.com. I'm Will Smith, seated directly to my left, looking at an enormous cell phone. Norman Chan.
You know, there's a rumor that Apple will also release a 5.5-inch iPhone later this year.
I do not welcome that change. I like a dainty small cell phone that fits comfortably in my hand.
The prevailing theory is that there will be two sizes, new sizes, a 4.7 and a 5.5. My bet is that it'll be the existing size and a 4.7. I don't think that they'll do existing size, a 4.7 and a 5.5. That is too much
You're
choice.
Just jumping straight into Apple rumors.
For Apple.
If they do different sizes, I hope that it's not a gimpy version and a good version as the big one.
I think Norm's just insecure about his size.
Maybe. Joining us today for the first time on This Is Only a Test, Frank Ippolito.
Hello.
Also, Dr. Zoidberg is here.
Yep.
What? Whoa. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you were probably backed up behind your giant phone screen.
Yeah, how could you even see him through there?
I can take a selfie with him.
Yeah, I hope desperately that they do not make a fast phone in the big giant one and the small one a crappy phone. That would make me really sad.
I think that given what they've done with the iPads and that they have internal spec parity, that would not happen.
So they don't exactly have spec parity, but it's very close.
They're very, very close.
Yeah.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah, I mean, there's no perceivable difference. Anyway, thanks for joining us today, Frank.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
You're up here working on some projects for other people and some stuff for us.
Some secrets.
All of which will become clear in the future.
Yeah, there's some really exciting stuff going on, so you'll just have to keep paying attention to us.
But for people who don't listen to don't watch the videos that we make on Tested and are only podcast listeners, of which there are some, it seems like, where would people know you from?
I was on a reality game show thing called Face Off on Sci-Fi Channel. I was on the first and the fifth season.
And Nick Cage and John Travolta were all in a room, and they chopped your faces off, and you swapped. And
yeah,
then,
it was like a roulette thing, yeah.
Nick Cage slept with John Travolta's wife, and somebody ate a peach, and there were doves flying with a sideways dive with two guns.
Yes.
Okay, you were the dove.
Yes.
Very good.
And the peach.
And the peach, okay. You know? Most uncomfortable moment in that film, which is really saying something.
Well, it is Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Have you seen...
No.
What was that one we were going to watch last night, Norm?
Bad Lieutenant.
Bad Lieutenant 2, Protocol New Orleans or whatever.
Really? There's a second Bad Lieutenant movie?
And Nick Cage is probably at his most amazing ridiculousness.
It's supposed to be good.
I've seen it before, and I think it's great because it's so ridiculous.
Does it roll over from bad into good? Is that like the level of ridiculousness we're talking about?
He's on crack the whole movie. Like this character is on crack. So he's going in and out of being nuts. I mean, he may have been on actual crack.
So they wrote the role for him.
Yeah, and then he goes in and out of like having accents, and it's just like the movie just doesn't make sense.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I figured after watching the second National Treasure movie that there was no more Nick Cage. That and Snake Eyes. If you watch those back to back, they're pretty much the same movie.
I like the National Treasures. I think those are fun.
I think they're good. No, they're not. They're not. Fun is the right word.
Norm,
I said
I'm
good.
convinced that the only taste you have is on your tongue.
Norm's a hipster. Norm.
National Treasure movies. What about National Treasure movies are fun?
It's the idea of secrets hidden in front of the world, it's a never-ending appealing trope.
Yeah.
I guess in the same way that Dan Brown movies are fun.
Well, I can't not
I've
watch like
never
House
watched
of Cards, and every time you go into the Oval Office, I'm looking for those hidden little doors on the side of the desk.
I know, and below the oval on the carpet.
Yeah. Like the idea of a vast secret conspiracy that only exists to hide some sort of loot in the most obscure, ridiculous, over-the-top way possible is super appealing to me.
Norm's not having it. He's just shaking his head.
No.
Norm also doesn't like Night at the Museum,
I do not.
despite its unending charm and lovely effects.
I just don't think I like Ben Stiller.
I like Zoolander. I like Dodgeball. I like Goofy Ben Stiller.
Yeah, I guess he was good in Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder was great.
Yeah.
Let me use this reminder remind people that Google Docs on the Android sucks.
Google Docs, like just about everywhere, are not my favorite.
It gets worse every time they do something to it.
I'm trying to find the show notes, and I cannot find it.
You got to browse to recent, shared, and it'll be in there. You also have done some stuff for us. You did the Akbar mask that Adam wore at Comic-Con last year.
Yes, and I did Adam's incognito at DragonCon last year, where he was Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, right.
I did some makeup for that. And then I did the Zoidberg project.
The Zoidberg project, which is, I think, my favorite. I mean, it's
right
difficult
there.
to pick favorites because they're all wonderful. The Needler that Harrison made is gorgeous and awesome. But I don't love Halo the way I love Futurama. And this is the first time I've seen it in person finished. And it is amazing.
Well, I'll plug it in. You can play with it with the remote.
I'm super excited about that.
Right.
It is, you sculpted him. You went through a bunch of different designs. And there's like a 14-part series on the site if you haven't read it yet.
And number 12 Normal put up one of these days because I finally got around to writing the last one.
Oh, excellent. But you detail pretty much every step along the way from like original figuring out what his aesthetic was going to be, because I know you went through a bunch of different
designs
looks and like whether he was going to have how many tentacle fingers he was going to have and whether he was going to be kind of a steampunky Zoidberg or look like Jamie Heineman or be like more kind of aggro and lobstery and real looking.
Yeah, it's the whole process. I mean, everything: the sculpturing, the molds, the painting, the making the costume, the claws, eyes, the animatronics that are inside of it.
It's an in-depth look at how you make a dope-ass movie quality mask in a way that I'd not seen before. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really good.
Well, thanks. I had fun.
And you're going to be doing more stuff with us in the future.
Yeah, we're in. We have some schemes.
Yeah, schemes is the right word, probably.
Yeah.
Norman Chan, what does Zoidberg feel like?
Zoidberg is very soft.
Have you licked Zoidberg?
No, it's kind of gross. It's been this one is the mask that was
this is the one
worn
that I
at
wore
WonderCon.
at WonderCon.
It's been con exposed.
Have you put your head inside that, Norm?
I do not want to anymore. Frank has
Now
put his head
I've
inside
soiled it with my sweaty head.
There are a lot of details because this is the first time we've actually got a chance to chat with you after WonderCon about this, and we can show. I mean, for people watching the video, there are things that people might not notice about Zoidberg, about like the way you did the eyes, and how you ended up being able to see through the eyes, but things you might want to change for the future.
Yeah.
What are things that you can call out about Zoidberg?
That I want to change?
Well, no, that after completing it, that you think turned out well, or
I'm really happy with like the overall form of him and the overall color. It looks very similar to the cartoon, but bringing it just a little bit into reality. There's always that like balance. Like some people would have liked to have seen him more lobstery. Some people would have liked to see it a little bit more accurate. You know,
so like almost cell shaded-y. I mean, you can't do that obviously with the 3-dimensional thing.
Yeah, I mean, some people say that he looks a little creepy with his eyes, like he's just got that kind of blank stare. And I mean, yeah, I could have gone crazy and put animatronic eyes in there and do all that, but it's just like I could have done anything if we had more time and more money.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is that some very ravenous fans called me out on the internet for getting his eye color wrong.
Ooh,
that's right. I remember this.
His eye color is.
You know what? If you Google Dr. Zoidberg, and it'll come up with pictures, and about half of them, his eyes are white, and half of them, they're like this really light blue color. I never noticed that. I just saw white, and I was like, oh, they're white. He's got white eyes.
Oh, wow, you're right.
Yeah. And so going through all these processes, doing this article series for 6 months, it never occurred to me that his eyes were anything but white. Even talking to the directors of of Futurama
episodes.
Yeah.
The supervising director never said, oh, make sure you get his eye color right. So I put this thing up there and I got called out for having the wrong color eyes. And I go and I look, and lo and behold, I got his eye color a little bit wrong. And so
They're not white.
They're not white. They're this like really light blue. And so this is the wrong one. I haven't changed them yet, but I'm going to put the new eye color in. And
it's a very subtle blue, and you can go too far really easily.
Oh, and I mean, the other thing that I've also, now that I've talked to the Futurama people again, I said, how could you not let me know I was missing this? Even after it was done, they never even said it. It was the internet that said it.
The internet knows everything,
yeah,
Frank.
but they also mentioned that his lab coat needs to be a little bit off-white to separate him from Professor Farnsworth. So I'm going to dye his lab coat a little bit off-white.
You know what? Chuck it in a dumpster for a few days. pull
Or
it
I
out
could just
because he
dye
lives
it
in
a
a dumpster.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be gross. I got to wear it again one of these days.
it's-
I'm going to wear it at San Diego Comic-Con.
You want
I'm
the
gonna wear it at
authentic
Dragon Con.
Zoidberg smell.
I don't want to smell. I want to meet some nice, pretty comic book girls.
You don't trust me. You don't want to meet the kind of girls that are into Zoidberg. Filthy. Filthy.
Well, no.
Who isn't in the Zoidberg?
But towards the end of Futurama, Zoidberg got a girlfriend, and she was real pretty.
Why not Zoidberg?
Yeah. She just couldn't smell. Remember that was.
She was smell deaf.
Yeah.
But then he was the only surgeon trained highly enough that he was able to restore her sense of smell.
And she didn't want it then.
Of course.
Yeah.
Poor Zoidberg. Poor Zoidberg.
Tragedy.
Well, I think let's talk about some tech news and science. Science. There's good science stuff this week.
Yeah.
This is.
Isn't today actually Nikola Tesla's birthday?
Tesla's 158th birthday.
Yeah.
It's today,
Yes.
as of recording this. Happy birthday, Tesla.
There's Tesla news too.
Yeah. I think a couple of us we've seen that. Elon Musk is donating $1 million to the Tesla Museum. Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked about that because I'm a big fan of Tesla. And,
So
nerdiness.
just to be clear, Matthew Ingram, the oatmeal guy, he raised a lot of money on Kickstarter to buy the site of Tesla's lab.
Yeah.
So that theoretically he could build a museum in there, but he just raised the amount of money he needed to buy the place.
Yeah.
And then basically came back and was like, well, it turns out it's going to be expensive to build a museum. We need what, $7 or $8 million or something like that. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they raised more money for that. And then came back and basically called out Elon Musk and was like, look, you're using his name. It's totally legit because his name's fair use, in the public domain at this point. But the right thing to do would be to throw some of that PayPal money and that rocket ship money at the Tesla Museum so that people can appreciate the legacy of the man that clearly you admired enough to name your car company, which you are saying is the future of cars.
Electric cars.
He's saying it's the future of all cars.
Sure, but I'm saying that it's named that because
of Tesla. Yeah.
Yeah.
Name that. I mean, arguably, he could say it's named after Tesla because that's one of the SI units for electrical something or other. I can't remember what a Tesla is. Is it
a measurement of something or other?
Capacitance? Yeah, of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, he called him out, and today they announced that Elon Musk is giving $1 million.
And he's going to put a supercharging station in the parking lot.
Yeah. So if you want to go check out the Tesla Museum in your Tesla car, you'll be able to get 80% of a charge in like 45 minutes, which is pretty good.
I think it's great. I think that's cool. And I think that's cool that even though he was guilted into it, Elon's chipping up.
How much, $1 million? How much is he worth?
You know what? I read something a few months ago, which is the best way to start a story, that said most of his wealth, because he made $1 billion or some insane amount of money on the PayPal sale, but
most of his
wealth is tied up in rocket ships and Teslas and Solar City. And because if you think about all, like, he has his hands in, he basically he's Tony Starking the future. Mm-hmm. He has his hands in the future. The Solar City thing was the first people that found a business model that could get solar cells on people's roofs without them having to shell out $20,000, which nobody's ever going to do. The Tesla is the first kind of, like, we've seen other electric cars, but most of them have been either commercial failures or technical failures or both, or not replacements for real cars. Like if you look at the Leaf and the Fiat 500 and E and those kinds of cars, they're like 75-mile range, so they're commuters, but it's not something you could take on a drive across the country without an enormous hassle and potentially getting stuck on the side of the road someplace in like Kansas or Oklahoma. So yeah, the Tesla thing, it's interesting. I'm
where was Tesla's lab?
It's on the East Coast, someplace in Delaware, I think.
He had a lab in Colorado too, Colorado Springs, or
really?
Yeah, that was one of his labs.
You know, when you type Tesla now, the first results are Tesla Motors and Tesla Motors locations near here.
Search engine optimization.
Do you want to? Is that incognito?
What?
Is that with your data? With your
I'm not in incognito. Yeah, you're correct. It knows where, but even when you put it in incognito, it knows where you are. Mm-hmm. So it's going to still give you location data first, probably. Mm-hmm. His
like
labs,
incognito?
No. The incognito mode, porn mode.
If you search web browser and search in the private mode,
I didn't.
It won't use your user presets to bias the results.
No clue. I had no clue.
Because if you search with Google in your browser and you're signed into Gmail or signed into the Google browser and Chrome browser, it will use your search history and use your other information to cater the results best for you.
Colorado Springs. You were right.
Yeah.
So that's good news. NASA, remember in 2012, so that was 2 years ago now, we had extended conversations about the official position of Voyager. Had it entered interstellar space, Voyager 1, the probes we launched in the mid-70s, I guess, and took all the pictures of Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus and Neptune.
Continue.
There was talk that it had passed the heliopause, which is the outer area of solar wind, the particles that leave the sun and where they basically stop, where their influence is pushed against by the interstellar, all the other stuff in the universe. So the solar wind dies down to practically nothing. And there was thought that had happened sometime in 2012. And there's NASA has an official position on Voyager 1's position now.
Which is?
Back in Uranus?
No, it's way past Uranus now. It's over Uranus and through the woods. It has entered interstellar space as determined by measurements of coronal mass ejections, which are those big giant things that blast out of the sun occasionally and hopefully never hit us, because that would be bad. But it is not out of the solar system yet. So it's in interstellar space, but the solar system, the outer boundary of the solar system, as you understand it now, is the Oort Cloud, which is where comets come from. It's icy, rocky balls, very far from the sun. And it's going to take only another 14 to 28,000 years to traverse the Oort Cloud.
To actually get out of the solar system.
To actually leave the solar system proper.
Wow.
So
we're holding our breath, NASA.
Space is big.
Thanks.
Peanuts when you compare to the walk down to the chemist.
And good thing that movie Interstellar is coming out this year. Perfect timing.
Is that the Matthew
Voyager.
McConaughey? Yeah.
Mahogany.
Mahogany?
Matthew Mahogany.
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 I got some Kickstarter stories.
Okay.
Did you see the Electric Objects digital art frame? This is the kind of thing I thought you would be into.
He's only worried about his giant phone screen.
Well, I mean, I guess when you do have a phone that big, then
fewer things matter in the world. So, what is this electronic digital frame thing?
It's a computer made for art, is what their pitch is. It's a Kickstarter project. They are. I'm on I went to the wrong page. Here we go. Basically, it is a computer. I assume something relatively low-powered, Linux-based, that has a big, pretty monitor attached to it. You hang it on your wall. You give it power. You hook it up to your network, and then it's going to pull art, presumably of your choosing, into your home in an interactive way that looks less janky than your normal digital photo frame. So it's a super fancy digital photo frame, but instead of being like a little 4-inch LCD that looks like shit, it's going to be something huge. It's like 24 inches.
Can you incognito that art choosing?
I don't. You can put whatever kind of, if you want to put.
Now, after 10 p.m., the art.
It switches to
do not
to
track
dick mode.
do not track my art, my art history.
It doesn't have a keyboard, doesn't have a mouse. No.
Where is it pulling stuff from?
The internet.
I would hope so.
It says to control it, you can use a phone app or an iPad app, or maybe a responsive web page. Basically, it seems like the kind of thing you plug into your network, you hook it up, and then you control it over the internet. And
how much are they asking for it?
It's less expensive than I would have thought. It's
okay,
like,
I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
$800.
Lower.
Whoa. Okay.
$450.
Lower.
Whoa.
Oh. 300.
300 is the
early bird.
No, it's not the early bird. It's the discount. It's the Kickstarter. So what they're saying is, if you back us on Kickstarter, we will give you a discount on what we're going to sell this for at retail after it's a product.
I mean,
so it will be more than 300.
It'll be $500 retail, which really means probably $350.
Oh, but 300. You get one for paying $300.
If you buy it now, you get one for $300. It's 561 backers at that level.
How big is the frame?
I think it's 24 inches.
24
diagonal.
It's basically like your monitor, but a 16:9 aspect ratio. It looks like.
All right, that's not bad.
No, it's not horrible. I mean, I just got a piece of artwork framed, and that cost me $250.
Yeah, just framed, and this one probably comes with a frame on it.
Well, so yeah, it comes with a metal or black frame at that price. They'll do a handmade wood frame. That's more expensive, obviously.
All depends on that screen quality, though.
So it's a 1080p 23-inch IPS display. anti-glare.
Can you pick which direction? Like if it's
It'll go horizontal or vertical.
horizontal.
I mean, all of their pictures show it horizontal. I can't imagine that you can't put it. I mean, all their pictures show it in portrait. I can't imagine you can't put it in landscape.
Have you backed this?
I have not.
I'm back it right now.
You're in, huh? It is a 50 million to 1 dynamic contrast ratio. So it's a good black level screen for IPS especially.
What's it called?
It is called the Electric Objects. And you can, it looks like you can pull from like even DeviantArt and Flickr and stuff like that, or 500px or stuff of your own choosing, including museums, libraries, whatever. My assumption is that if you want to subscribe to like the MoMA collection, you'll be able to pay $5 a month or $2 a month or whatever and get shit from New York MoMA or San Francisco MoMA or whatever on the screen. It seemed like kind of a neat idea. And like,
it's been funded already.
Digital picture frames are lame, right? We all agree.
The little guys.
Yeah. So like, but this seems like something that is, if you can get power to it in a way that doesn't look janky, potentially cool. They also are doing bundles, so you can buy 5. You can buy a bunch of them if you want for increasing discounts.
Yeah, that's too
Just
many.
put them on all your walls.
That's too many.
Norm already doesn't have any room in his walls anymore.
Oh,
in his
yeah.
house. Every square inch is spoken for.
And I have under my bed, I still have like 3 dozen things that need to go up. Literally 3 dozen things that need to be framed.
Hey, Norm.
Yeah, I don't want to look under your bed.
It might be time to step away from the poster ordering button. Unsubscribe from Mondo.
Well,
it's time.
He's the one that's buying a digital picture frame.
I know. This will help.
This is well. What you can do is take those posters, scan them, and all the 3 dozen that are in your bed, and just cycle through on this one.
$300 is a good price because you think
It's
like a 24-inch monitor.
A good
by
24-inch
itself,
monitor is $150, $200.
Yeah, on sale, I wouldn't pay more than $150 for a good 24-inch monitor. Maybe $200 for a really good IPS one. But $300, I mean, that's just putting the Raspberry Pi in the back.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a neat project. So then the other thing is a less neat project. Have you heard about?
I'm ready to hear about the less neat project.
Do you like potato salad, Frank?
I love.
Are you talking about the guy that put up a potato salad thing, got like 10 grand?
Man, way to just blow right by the
let's
blow
build
through
it
the
up.
setup here.
Build it up.
Do you like potato salad, Frank?
I do in fact like potato salad.
How much do you like potato salad? Do you find it a difficult thing to acquire?
I usually have it at most grocery stores, sometimes even convenience stores like 7-Eleven.
Yeah, places you buy fried chicken and sandwiches frequently have potato salad.
Yeah. KFC has potato salad, doesn't it?
How many potato salad Kickstarters would you think are currently on Kickstarter right now? 104.
Oh
What?
my goodness! There, you didn't expect that.
104.
Did all those 104 come up after this first guy?
I'll give you 2 guesses.
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
So a guy named Zach Danger Brown.
Oh no.
By the way, when I had to name my child, I tried to give a novelty middle name, and this is what wives are for. She prevented me from calling, my child something Danger Smith or Awesome Smith or Radical Smith or something like that, which in retrospect, probably the right choice. Names are permanent. But when this guy's Kickstarter name is Zach Danger Brown, that sounds pretty fucking rad.
Okay. And so what was he promising?
He promised
He
to
wanted to make some.
He didn't even make a fucking video. It's just a picture of some potato salad. He said, I'm making potato salad. Basically, I'm just making potato salad. I haven't decided what kind yet. Update, we did it. And then he has stretch goals. His initial request was $10. Seems fair. If he made $35, he will make 4 times as much potato salad because there's a discount when you buy a lot of potato salad stuff. At $75, there will be a pizza party. And
I'm shaking my head right now.
yeah, and then there's more updates.
I'm much less interested in this Kickstarter.
On update 3, he added more stretch goals. For $250 raised, he would make better mayonnaise. Use better mayonnaise from the natural food section instead of the normal Hellmann's crap. It probably has gasoline in it. At $300, he would call a chef friend and get a better recipe. At $350, he would make way more potato salad and probably do a 3rd recipe.
Making quote unquote way more.
Another update came later.
Wait, are all these things just rewards for him, or is he inviting?
It's
people?
unclear. Well, I'll tell you what the rewards were if you won the potato. If the potato salad was funded, at $1,000, he said he'd do a live stream of the potato salad making. At $1,200, he would pay someone to film a thank you video for all of my backers. And the risks and challenges were it might not be that good. This is the first time I've made potato salad.
And he's not promised to share this with anyone.
Yeah, and at $3,000, no, hold on. At $3,000, the final stretch goal is my kitchen is too small. I run out of party hall and invite the whole internet to the potato salad party. Only $10 and above backers will be allowed in the kitchen. The internet loves potato salad. Let's show them that potato salad loves the internet. Okay, so the rewards and the pledge levels are $1. With your help, we'll be on our way to a successful potato salad. You will get a thank you posted to our website, and I will say your name out loud whilst making the potato salad.
No, that's a risk. Oh my! How many backers?
Just wait. At $2 or more, you receive a photo of me making the potato salad, a thank you posted to our website, and I will say your name out loud while making the potato salad. At $3 or more, you will receive a bite of the potato salad, a photo of me making the potato salad, and a thank you posted to our website, and I will say your name out loud while making the potato salad.
Here you go, a bite.
The $5 deluxe package is that you choose a potato salad appropriate ingredient to add to the potato salad. Perhaps bacon.
Potato salad appropriate.
Yeah, potato.
Oh, okay.
Nobody puts dicks in their potato salad. You fucking pervert.
Mr. Giant. Phone.
And then the rest of it is the same as all the other stuff. We're not going to say it over and over again.
Sure.
$10, the platinum level. You get to hang out in the kitchen with me while I make the potato salad, and all the other stuff. At $20, it's potato madness. You receive a potato salad themed haiku written by me, your name carved into a potato that will be used in the potato salad, a signed jar of mayonnaise, the potato salad recipe. You hang out in the kitchen with me and all the other stuff.
Oh my god! Okay,
at $25,
it sounds like fulfilling these things. Is
dude,
that's why I want to hear about. I want to hear about numbers.
This at $25. There's a hat. You get a potato salad themed hat along with a bite of the potato salad. All the other stuff.
You should make no potato salad at the end of this. Just take the money because that's fuck you Kickstarter.
At $35 or more, there's a T-shirt. Oh my god! You receive a limited edition T-shirt designed and printed by Columbus, Ohio T-shirt company Homage. The bite, the photo, the thank you, and he will say your name out loud. At $50 or more, you receive a recipe book with potato salad recipes inspired by each country where we have a backer, along with a bite of the potato salad, a photo of me making the potato salad. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Those are all the reward levels.
You.
How much money do you think he raised?
I'm sad that we're wasting this much time talking
exactly.
about this.
I just want
to get it a little bit sad.
I'm trying to get the internet angry.
$100,000.
You're making
$45,000. He has 5,500 backers.
Oh my god!
Which means he has to say, whilst making the potato salad in dump truck loads, it seems like from the stretch goals, he has to say 5,499 people's names.
Or he could do what Norm said and just
take the money,
and run because
he has 22 days to go.
I don't think you're legally. He has 22 days. He's got 4.
No one's gonna. It's done. It has by the end of this.
No, he's gonna have $100,000, and he's gonna not make potato salad.
At this point, I want people to give him $1 just so he has to say more names.
He's not gonna do it. He doesn't. There's no promises.
Yeah, you're not like
he didn't say.
No, he's not.
In the risks and challenges, hey, I might have too many backers that I can't say all their names.
Do that and let people pull out before 22 days are over.
Has he created other Kickstarters? This is his first created.
So Modern Farmer, which is a great publication,
wonderful magazine
did
website,
a follow-up. Important questions about that potato salad Kickstarter, such as, is it dangerous to make that much potato salad?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
can
it can become explosive?
Oh, no. Like, can you keep it fresh?
Bad,
yeah,
right?
and the time it takes to make that much.
How does one safely ship potato salad?
Yeah, that's going to be expensive. Way more than $5.
And a home kitchen, a party hall will not come with a large kitchen big enough to make this much.
Yeah, but
so
I think you can just
scalability
put
problems.
a bunch of tables out with some big buckets and have a potato salad making party. I don't know. It's a mess. It's gotten covered everywhere. There's a whole boatload of people following on.
And now we're idiots that are covering it
I agree.
also. Thanks, Will.
Norm asked.
I didn't ask.
You said I'm interested in hearing more about this terrible idea.
Okay, and then we're done.
And then we talked about it. Speaking of terrible ideas, I have heard that there's going to be a Thunderbirds movie. Do you know what the Thunderbirds are, Norm?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thunderbirds are go.
Marionette action
super
family,
marionettes.
super marionette.
Yeah, it's what like the Team
Puppet show.
America style was based on.
Yeah, hopefully
Except
with
Team
less
America
feces in the mouth.
Yeah.
Had much
Puppet.
better actual puppets.
Well, it's because the technology
Right.
was different.
So we're talking about a show back in the old days.
It was it 70s.
Yeah.
And it was,
S-
there was
70s,
one of
it was a
a
British
few of one of
Yeah.
a few of these.
Yeah, there was like another one. I think it
marionette
was
shows.
Captain Scarlet or something was the other one.
And they were hung by strings. And
Are you
and
sure
they
we're
were-
allowed? We can talk about this, Frank. There's nothing on the internet about this.
It's on the internet.
You heard it here
Oh.
first.
No, you're right. June 19th, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you
Pays
think?
tribute to the
I'm
original
not privy
series.
to any special information about Thunderbirds.
I never know.
I saw no. If it was, you know what I know that I'm not allowed to talk about.
I don't know that because you
No,
don't tell
usually-
me about that.
I usually preface it with the don't talk about this.
No. You don't tell
telling you
secrets.
something cool.
We know the secret. I know you're trying to be all cool and like, oh, I'm a secret spiller, but
I'm not a secret spiller.
I know.
All right. So Thunderbirds are go. They are.
I think it's cool. I used to supervise an effect shop in LA called the Kyoto Brothers, and they're the ones that built all the Team America puppets. I didn't work on Team America, but a lot of my friends did, and we worked on an episode of Stargate, the 200th episode, where we did a Team America style puppets, and I sculpted 2 of the heads, and I, helped put the puppets together and stuff like that.
So I have questions about these puppets.
They're awesome. Yes, they're awesome.
So Trey Parker and Max Stone talked a rasher of shit about them in the commentary for Team America World Police.
I'm going to preface this with I love Trey and Matt's
They're awesome. We
stuff,
love
their
them.
films.
Yeah.
I love South Park. I hear they're a little bit nuts.
When you say nuts, I think you mean in the traditional Hollywood sense of once there's a script, that's what we shoot more or less, maybe with some small variations, not that we decide 3 weeks before we're going to release an animated film that it's suddenly a musical.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, bull s.
What?
The new version will mix CGI animation with live action sets, so the puppets will actually be CG, no physical
Oh,
puppets.
that's bullshit.
But the
Forget
sets,
it. We're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah.
The sets are.
No,
are
I'm done.
made.
We're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, but tell me how the super crappy animation puppets work. The arms and legs and body and head
Are
angle are
marionette
normal marionettes with
from
from
from above.
lots of strings.
Yes,
or
lots
or sticks from below maybe.
Strings, mostly strings, but sometimes they were rod. And then the heads had various degrees of animatronics inside of them.
So tiny servos, controlling
Yeah,
eyes,
sometimes
mouth,
the servos
nose,
were in like
ears.
the chest,
Okay.
and then there was cables running up to the head. Yeah, the eyes and lips. And
So how many people run? It's like 2 people to run one of these puppets or more?
sometimes it would take more. I wasn't on the programming end of it, so
Okay.
I don't know. There was usually 1, sometimes 2 puppeteers from above, depending on what the action is that they had to do. Most of the time, it was just 1 per. And then there was at least 1 person running servos or remotes and stuff like that from offsite. Sometimes it would be like a couple of people with a remote control, or sometimes they would have these pre-programmed, I don't know what they're called, pre-programmed thingies so that all the dialogue is programmed in. So if they would,
So like they'd have a like a player piano essentially.
yeah, they'd pre-record the dialogue, and then they would program the servos to operate with that dialogue. And so when they do the scene, the dialogue goes in their mouth moves, and then the only people with the
That's the original animatronic design.
Yeah.
Robots match for audio.
Yeah.
I mean, when Walt Disney designed the animatronics.
Yeah, the audio animatronic.
audio animatronics for the Lincoln.
Yeah.
Which was the first audio animatronic.
At
Or
the
one of
World's
the first.
Fair in
For
1966.
World's
or
Fair,
something, yeah.
it was voice first, and then the actual voice, playing the voice triggered the motions.
Yeah.
So like it sounds like what they did for those movies is a lot like what happens in like a modern video game, except I assume somebody had to hand code how the lips moved for the dialogue that they had, rather than just like in a video game you feed an audio file in and it kind of generates the mouth movement based on.
I think there's different
Phoneme
software,
rules.
and different companies that have stuff that'll do that, because even like bigger movies like I don't know, Hellboy or whatever, if they have a character that has to talk and it's an animatronic face, they can program all that stuff in.
I wanted there to be somebody off screen with like a big armature thing on their whole face that
Waldo.
just tracks.
Waldo.
Yeah, Waldo. Yeah, that hooks onto their lips, Clockwork Orange style. So when they're talking, it just tracks all that
I
and
think they
transposes
have
it to the
stuff like
puppet.
that would be cool.
And
Sounds
they don't even need anything
terrifying.
sticking on lips. All you need is an optical camera, and then with skeletal mapping.
Well,
And then
if you want lag,
Oh, geez, if you want to get all fancy with it, Mr. Giant Phone.
yes.
I like that
There's
you're hanging on to
animatronics-
this
there are
giant
anim-
phone
there are
thing. You
animatronics
talk
in,
shit for weeks about
in
this.
We got-
Zoidberg.
Yeah,
you wanna-
Zoidberg has
wanna-
animatronics.
wanna-
Yeah,
wanna
let's
plug it in?
Auto Erotica.
Nope.
That's a Jurassic Park joke. The lawyer
Yes.
says, "What is this? Is this auto erotica?
No, these are live dinosaurs.
No, live scientist.
Live scientists. That's right. Let's see the ride.
No, nobody was fucking the dinosaurs, Norm. So what do you have? Like a normal, looks like a normal RC controller over there, Frank.
Yeah, it's maybe I plugged it in backwards.
Oh,
Lipo.
Zoidberg.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There's some movement.
There you
Ah. And the best
Here.
part is that you have left stick and right stick, and they control different things, and it's analog.
So good. If you want to know how this works, it's all on the site. You can check it out. So yeah, Thunderbirds are Go, mostly CG puppets. That makes you really sad.
I'm really upset now. I was all excited that they were doing that, and now that you're telling this,
Now that
to
Norm
me, I'm done.
crapped in your punch bowl.
Done with it. It's because he's getting back at me for the phone comments.
Probably. Norm, you mentioned you put something on here called Lego Ideas Exosuit.
This is something better. So Lego Kusu. You know, Frank, you know what that is?
No.
It's a program that Lego officially runs. Let me give Will this so he can actually try this out. It's a program Lego runs where people submit their own Lego design. So Lego fans have made their own designs called MOCs, my own creations, for a longest time. People buy their own kits. They collect hundreds of thousands, millions of pieces of Lego at some points and create their own robots and spaceships and whatever. And you can submit a design on this website. It used to be called Lego Kusu. Now it's called Lego Ideas, and people vote. If you get 10,000 people to say, I would back this, I would buy this, and it's more than just clicking a button, you have to register and say, I would buy this, I would pay this amount, and votes, then Lego has to take the design submission seriously.
I mean, I don't know how seriously.
And they have to provide, it's like the White House petition.
Yeah,
thing, where
basically
have
they
to
say
provide some
somebody will look at it. This is
Yeah.
fantastic.
And so far there have been 6 kits, real kits that have come out from this Lego Ideas program, including the Minecraft kit, came out of Lego Ideas, the Back to the Future.
Which, just to be clear, the Minecraft
DeLorean.
stuff is now a series.
Yes, the DeLorean kit, the Ghostbusters kit, new Ghostbusters kit came from that, and also 2 science vessels. Most of the stuff, and there have been kits. You know, people want Star Wars kits. They want an Apple Store. They want the Big Bang Theory thing. You know, they've
Star
created
Trek Bridge.
Star Trek Bridge, whatever. And most of them they can't do because of licensing. But coming up next, number 7 and number 8 are 2 original. They've announced what they are, and they've sent out prototype kits ready for people to review. Wholly original IP, which is new, and the kit that you can buy starting in a couple months or so, in a month or so, will be a Lego exoskeleton, where you have the space age Lego. You see the Lego movie?
Yes.
You know the space dude from the 80s?
Yeah.
Like him, but green, which I don't think they've done before. A green Lego space dude, and he goes inside, but looks like a giant mech suit. That's like a spider mech, and then he has legs, and it gets pretty big, and looks really awesome. And it's something someone came up with, made on their own, submitted it, and because the fans liked it enough, Lego thought this original idea was great enough, it's now going to be an official kit, and it looks pretty cool.
I think that's awesome. That's super cool.
I like Legos. I actually just recently cleared out all my storage units, and I found all of my Legos from when I was a kid. And so I have boxes and boxes and boxes.
Which were you into any particular thing, or were you like buy a big tub of bricks guy? Do you remember? 'Cause they had like space and city and all that stuff when we
there
were
was
kids.
a lot of space stuff. It was a lot of the space stuff.
I love that space stuff.
So I have all my Legos now in my living room, and I'm in new totes and everything. And so I'm gonna start building random Lego stuff on my living room floor.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Good new drinking game. I got to make a drinking game out of it though.
Oh yeah. You can
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to.
Play to lose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Canadians, hey Canada, we know you're watching. You guys are finally getting Spotify.
When did they get Pandora?
Do they not have Pandora yet?
No, I think they got Pandora relatively early. Pandora wasn't difficult because it went. Well, actually, I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna take that back.
I'm gonna look it up. Is there a Canadian version of Pandora, Spotify, etc. yet?
They have Pandora in Australia. I just got back from Australia, and I was very happy to have Pandora over there.
There is no Pandora yet.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Aereo, they have in Canada.
It's licensing.
Audio's
all
great.
about the licensing.
Songs. That sounds like something Canadian. Groove Shark, Last FM, Pandora, Spotify. If you use Media Hint's a proxy, right? So yeah, congratulations on Spotify, guys.
Congratulations, Canada.
I just closed the show notes. PC shipments have finally flattened, which is a good thing.
What does that mean?
Well, the last 2 years they were in kind of a steep decline, down 7 to 10% depending on which quarter you're looking at.
Compared to Apple or just in general?
No, PC, the industry-wide. Personal computers. So they have flattened out, it seems like, as of this year, which is a good thing. Means the PC's not going away. We need that thing.
Well, why would it go away? I mean, everybody needs a computer.
It turns out lots of people don't need computers. You need a computer because you do work and do CAD stuff and Photoshop. But if you just use your computer to check email and look at YouTube and browse pornography, all of that shit works great on a phone or tablet.
Sounds like for dicking around.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, you're a serious businessman.
We use serious loosely.
You know how to work a spreadsheet, right? You can send an invoice to somebody.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I got to send you an invoice.
Nope, we're good. It's cool. At the end of the year, little known secret, Norm gets all the money that people didn't invoice.
What? Really?
No.
Holy fuck. Don't send me invoices.
Lloyd Case never gets paid, it turns out. He's bad at sending invoices. Sorry, Lloyd. Microsoft changes direction. I didn't put this one in here, so I don't know what it is.
The big, giant 4,000-word memo from Microsoft CEO was released today, announcing the shift in company direction.
4,000 words is a lot. It's
what's the shift?
1,500 words.
No longer a devices and services company. Microsoft is now a productivity and platforms company.
What the fuck does that mean?
That doesn't mean...
It means they will build apps, and they will build software and backends for productivity software.
How long have they been a devices and services company? Since Surface?
Since before Surface. Since Ballmer, mid-Ballmer. So it just means that it's a relabeling to some extent, but the headline is productivity, which you think Office and Windows, and platforms, Azure, company for a mobile-first, cloud-first market.
Well, that makes sense because, I mean, mobile first is the way the industry is going.
But reaffirms commitment to Xbox.
He has to do that every single time because he said he was going to kill Xbox if that was the first thing he would do, months ago, years ago, I guess now. This is a really long email. It's memo. I think it came via email.
There's a press release that he was glad to include Microsoft employees on.
They're having a dialogue. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. This is a big change for Microsoft, and they typically don't do big change very well. Usually the CEO has to write a book when they want to make it. When Microsoft embraced the internet, Bill Gates had to write a book about buying movie tickets and baseball tickets from ATMs and your cell phone in 1995 or 96. That was the beginning. It's called The Road Ahead. It's a really boring book about. I should go back and read it now while we're in the future.
Yeah.
And see what see what he said. See if he was right. I don't remember. I read it when I was in college, I think, right before Windows 95 came out. Brazil-Germany World Cup game was the most tweeted about sports event ever. 35.7 million tweets.
Frank does not care about the footballs.
Oh, wait.
The world footballs.
Norm is on the bandwagon.
I like watching the excitement. It was exciting.
Hipster,
it's a sport that most people don't like.
Did you read statistically it was the most improbable World Cup game ever?
7-1. Because of the number of goals.
7-1 was the score, but not the probability it was going to happen. It was more than 1 in 4 million.
That somebody would score that many goals on Brazil at home?
Yes, and lead by that much.
I was shocked that the number of tweets to get the record number of tweets about a sporting event was only 35 million. I feel like when I watched a baseball, like the last game of the World Series or the Stanley Cup or the Super Bowl, everybody that I know on Twitter is posting 5 or 10 messages each. And, I follow at least 35 million people.
35 million individual people or just tweets?
I thought it was just tweets.
Ken Roxon is doing really good in the National Motocross Championship right now.
Is that a bicycle thing?
Motocross, dirt bikes.
Oh.
Ken Roxon's doing really well. I met him once before. He was a nice kid.
Cool.
Different
story.
Strokes.
Everybody likes their own stuff.
I at least race motocross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't play soccer.
Yeah.
I don't play football.
There you go.
I used to.
When you were 8.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody did when they were 8.
Yeah.
Easiest game to play.
I don't think that's true.
All you need is a ball.
Have you ever played shuffleboard?
Do you need a board?
And you need a shuffle?
You need that
something.
stick with the hook on it and a puck.
No.
Okay. Have you played?
I've played it. I'm just saying I don't think it's easy to play.
Have you played
football.
frisbee? Have you played hacky sack? I had a picnic last week, and some assholes were playing hacky sack behind us and were terrible at it and kept kicking it. And this is a San Francisco
still a
problem.
thing? Oh, it is San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's right. I keep forgetting I'm up here.
An Uber rider yesterday in Washington, D.C. was taken, maybe the day before yesterday now, was taken on a high-speed chase through D.C. because the Uber driver was talking to a cab cop, and the cab cop, as soon as he pulled out, flipped on the lights. The Uber driver said, I'm going to get a $2,000 fine if I don't evade this guy, and drove like a madman until he got out of D.C. and into Virginia, where the D.C. cab cop couldn't follow him.
I'm about to take Uber as soon as this podcast is
Is this your
done,
first time
so-
taking Uber?
No. I take Uber all the time.
Okay.
I back in L.A. at home. That's how I get to the bars and get home.
Yeah.
I don't like to drink and drive. So
That is a very good policy.
I am
No
very
one should drink and
responsible.
drive.
yes. So that's what I use Uber for.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Uber after this. So hopefully I don't have to go on a
If
joyride.
there's a cab cop talking to the
They
Uber
have
driver
cab
before
cops?
yeah, there's always cab cops. There's every kind of cop. There's BART cops. There's cab cops. There's muni cops. There's airport cops.
Do cab peak cops not like Ubers?
There is some contention about the legality of Uber in different districts. So I think DC and Boston are some of the more contested ones. So my hunch would be that guy wasn't doing something right. And it's unclear whether it was an Uber, which is a person usually with a livery license and then like a black town car, or an Uber X, which is usually just a person with a car that I don't think has a livery license for the most part, but maybe they do in some states. I don't think they do here. I feel like Uber X people are just people. I bet Norm and I could go be Uber X drivers if we wanted.
I actually just recommended one of my friends to go do that because he's in between work right now.
Lyft is paying people $500 here if you go and sign, like as a signing bonus.
Do you
be a
have to have
driver.
that like pink mustache on your car?
Yeah,
that's
put the
stupidest thing
stupid
ever.
fucking pink mustache on your car.
It's the
I
grossest
don't
thing
want to.
ever.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that car.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants mustache rides, guys.
And pink mustache rides and fist bumps. Nope.
When
Says the guy with skinny jeans.
When you get in an
Slim.
Uber X, when you get in one of these cars and it's like not a black car, do you ride in the front or do you ride in the back?
I get in the back.
Even if it's like just a normal person's
Yeah,
car?
some dude's Prius.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of them are Priuses. Most of them, at least in my neighborhood, are Armenians with Priuses.
See, I feel like the Uber X, you get in the back, but I feel like Lyft, you get in the front.
Really?
I've never taken a Lyft
I've never taken a
before.
Lyft either. Yeah.
But I always see people in Lyfts in the front. This is why I have this perception. Pink mustache is friendlier. Anyway. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia has asked the FTC for an investigation into the Facebook survey. We have not talked about this yet. Do you know what this is?
I'm vaguely aware of it. I read something about it, and it seemed about as meaningless to me as the government looking into people's information. Like, who cares? I'm not doing anything wrong.
You've been huffing glue fumes too long, Frank. You got to be angry about stuff.
I don't want. I don't need.
You're
to be
too
angry
laid
about-
back.
I'm not laid back. I mean, ask most people. I'm not laid
You
back.
seem pretty
but,
laid
like,
back.
I guess you're just asking the wrong people.
Okay, maybe.
Ask,
Anyway,
ask the internet that watched the first season of Face Off.
those people don't ask the internet anything. Gina and I talked about this on Mr. and Mrs. Smith last week, but Facebook ran, along with the researchers from Cornell and one other university, which I can't remember now, ran a study where they wanted to see if social mood was contagious. So what they did was they filtered the people's Facebook newsfeed, which they do anyway to try to get you to spend more time on Facebook, to make stuff more interesting to you in general. They don't show you everything that everybody that you follow on Facebook posts.
which I hate.
I'll
Get mad about that.
That is what I don't like about Facebook. Like I hadn't
agree.
realized it before this, but the thing I like about Twitter is that I see everything everybody posts.
Yeah.
If I want to, it's there.
I
On Facebook, you have to dig.
I recently found out that I can mute people on Twitter. I could follow them so that
Yeah.
my friends don't get pissed that I'm not following them. Then just
Yep.
mute them.
It's a wonderful feature.
Yeah, I just learned that.
Yeah. So they always filter the feed. We are aware of that. That's no surprise. But what they did was they took words that had negative connotations and words that had positive connotations, and they took 600,000 or 700,000 people's feeds, and some of them they gave a more generally positive feed. Some of them they gave a more generally negative feed, and they wanted to see what happened. They wanted to see if those people then went and posted more negative things. So if they show somebody a bunch of wonderful posts about children having fun and playing and dogs doing cute things and cats being derpy.
But see, those would piss me off. I don't. Yeah.
Fair enough. But they wanted to see if those people were generally more positive as a result. If you said, "Hey, I really loved Captain America," they put all the "I love" stuff in one person in some people's feeds, and those people then, by a small but measurable percentage, posted more positive posts. They became more positive on Facebook as a result. They also did the same thing with negative posts. So some people, they gave more negative posts, things about the world being shit, or everything going to hell, or people being generally bad, or these are all examples that I'm making up. But the upshot is, those people also were affected in a negative way. So if you got all the negative posts, then you thought that everything was bad and you were a more negative person. Needless to say, people are upset about this.
Why? Who cares?
Because it's
I mean, they're already
manipulative.
filtering your feed anyways, which means that you're already being, manipulated as to what you can see and what they think you want to see.
I expect them to manipulate the feed so that I spend more time on their site.
It's stupid to expect that. You should be pissed that they're filtering it at all.
And
who
that's the starting
cares
point.
about all the rest of it, like how they're filtering it.
But if you take people who have, say you have somebody who's generally tends to be depressed, clinically depressed, not self-diagnosed and self-medicated.
Yeah.
And you put them you put a feed in front of them where they're going to be faced with the world is utter shit and going to hell and all negative stories. That could send somebody over the edge. On the scale, we don't know 700,000 people, and we don't know who got the feeds. Wow. If somebody committed suicide in January of 2012 or whenever this ran,
it was that long ago.
It was a long time ago. Took a while to publish and all that stuff.
Well, they apologized for it.
No. They said they communicated poorly.
They apologized for communicating poorly.
Right. They said they'd communicated the survey poorly, and then Sheryl Sandberg did this. Shrugged.
Wow.
Yeah. So the upshot is probably don't use Facebook.
I can't wait for the next thing to be out.
It's becoming less and less valuable for hobbyists and people who build small communities to get access to their fans and with Facebook.
Same thing with me. Like I have my personal page, which is just mostly my friends, even though I get gajillions of requests because I was on television. And then I have another page that's mostly my artwork.
A fan page.
But I can't get that feed, and I can't get the attention and the traffic that I would if it was just like a regular friend page. So it's stupid. It's nearly useless.
Because they want you to pay.
Yeah.
Even if you do it as a regular friend page and they know that, like they can tell now, you have to, if you want to get your stuff in front of all of the people that follow you, you have to pay them.
I hate that.
Right. And if you look at 2010, when we barely had Facebook integrated on the site, we got way more traffic from Facebook then than we do now because they weren't filtering stuff like at that level or even really at all, I think, at that point.
I'm gonna stick to my Instagram. It's fun, even though it's kind of useless in the social media world.
I mean, this is why I like Twitter. It's Twitter. You have the feed. You follow people. If you don't want to see them, you can mute them. But the filter is on your end, not on the service's end. So you're not being manipulated. Anyway, the Senate is asking the FTC for an investigation to see if they overstepped their bounds or if they need to be more transparent about this in general.
And then we'll all get a 76-cent check in about 3 years.
Fuck a 76-cent check. I don't want one. Give me 3 shares.
I just got a 76-cent check from my insurance company.
For overpayment?
Because they had to cancel my policy or something like that because of stupid Obamacare.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's what
FTC is doing an investigation. That's the takeaway.
Are we still pissed about net neutrality thing? Is that still going on?
That is a battle that will never end.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be aware.
I'm just trying to find out what I'm supposed to be pissed about now because clearly I'm too easygoing.
Oh, I can give you some stuff to be pissed about. I'll send you a list. What you should be pissed about this week.
Subscribe to my newsletter.
Yeah.
Well, I like that one Facebook page. I fucking love science.
Yeah.
And they do I don't know if it's daily or weekly wrap up. Like this is what happened this week in science. Should give me this is what you should be pissed about this week in life.
Isn't that called the Rush Limbaugh Show?
No, that's different. He loves corporations. The thing you should be pissed off about is corporations taking over all the business in your world. That's what you should be angry about.
Okay.
Yeah. Aereo, remember Aereo? They had TV antennas, a network of TV antennas that you could buy time on.
Aereo.
What did I say? Aereo.
Aereo.
Same thing.
Wasn't Aereo a TV show?
There's
about
that's AERO is yeah, AEREO is what this is. Aereo, I guess.
No, I just have Netflix.
So they would let you do local broadcast stations over the air. So if you were in New York, you would get all the local over the air broadcast stations for like $8 a month. The case went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, nope, this is just a bullshit bypass of copyright law. You guys, if you want to do this, you have to pay the cable broadcast networks money, carriage fees, just like Comcast and Time Warner and all the cable companies do.
Well, I'll explain who would want to use this. So, for example, if you like watching all the shows broadcast in New York, the local shows, local news, local sports, very important, the evening, whatever the local affiliate program stuff, but you don't live in New York or you live in a place with very bad reception,
like an apartment building inside Manhattan, frankly.
Right? You can pay a service like Netflix for $8 a month.
Oh, so they just retransmit it.
They assign you an antenna that will actually receive with a good reception that will get the digital signal,
right?
And then they save that onto a cloud server and let you stream that.
So it works like a TiVo that connects that's on a server someplace rather than in your living room.
TiVo for antenna. So because it's over the air and they're just taking stuff over the air, they're not paying Time Warner. Or they're not paying.
What they were saying is, we are going to, your antenna, instead of being connected by a coax cable to the roof, is going to be connected by a coax cable on our roof to the internet to you. Rather
and the cool thing is they had a lot of subscribers because a lot of people who knows how reception is. The antennas they had were like this big.
They were micro antennas. They were really
this
neat.
big, and you could put them on a tray. They had on the servers, and it was like 100 antennas on one board, and each antenna was assigned to a person.
So the Supreme Court said, look, this is a really neat service, but it's clearly designed entirely to bypass copyright protection, not because it's actually fulfilling a need.
But it sounds like it was fulfilling a need.
Well, of course it was fulfilling a need. But the point was, the broadcast network sued Aereo. That case went to the Supreme Court because the broadcast network said they were stealing content, right? The Supreme Court said, yeah, you're probably stealing content. This is a thing that exists only to bypass the copyright law. And Aereo has come back and said, look, if the Supreme Court said, this is new, the Supreme Court said we're essentially a cable provider, then we should get access to the statutory fees, the same statutory carriage rights as cable companies. So they're saying, look, if the Supreme Court says we're a cable network, then we're happy to be a cable network. You just have to give us the same rate that you give everybody else that's, negotiated by as seemingly as part of the statutory laws. So Aereo's not gone. So,
good.
Maybe they're coming back.
Cool.
The networks are fighting this too, obviously.
Yeah. Damn the corporations.
Hey man, think about everything that NBC Universal owns.
Oh.
Yeah.
They own everything.
Comcast now owns.
NBC Universal owns Sci-Fi Channel, which was the station that
16 cable networks.
I'm not allowed to say anything bad about it. I think there's a contract I'm not allowed to say.
You shouldn't talk about that then. Kinect for Windows is available. It costs $200. This is the 2.0 version. It's for people who make robots.
No real software yet.
There's an SDK, I think. So you can build. So one of the things that came out of the first generation Kinect, the one for the Xbox 360, is that immediately people who build robots that need to move it in physical space put that on there because it was the $75, $100 Kinect or whatever it was as good as the $30 and $50 and $60,000 optical systems at mapping a room, like saying, okay, here the floor is flat, here there's an obstacle, here there's something coming in. It updates in real time. It was quite good for that, even though the games were pretty universally terrible. So the next generation Kinect, the one that comes with the Xbox One, is presumably a step up. I haven't really used it for anything yet, but yeah, that's a thing that happened. It's out now if you're making robots and want to make a Kinect sensor for your robot.
Cool.
I think that's it. Unless you have anything else, Norm. I have drone news. Are you ready for drone news?
I'm ready for drone news.
Drone news. Hi.
What, really?
That's the new music. I didn't record the drone news part. It's too long. I need to cut that down a little bit because it should be like boom in like 2 hits. It needs to be more dubsteppy too, I think. I like a good.
drone
Like you want a
news.
good. Like that one starts with the drop. You want to have it ease in and then wham and then straight into drone news. I think
I can record some audio samples of the drone flying.
that would be good. That's a good way to go.
I have a DJI Phantom.
Really?
Yeah, well,
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's part of the problem. We're all part of the problem.
I think it's fun.
It is fun.
I go out to the motocross track, shoot
Okay.
some dirt bikes
That's good. Do you?
Where do you fly it, Frank?
at the motocross tracks.
Are there people there?
Yeah.
Norm, tell Frank what he's doing wrong.
You're not supposed to fly over people or vehicles.
Or people in vehicles.
Or
No,
people in
like if the
vehicles.
tracks, you fly alongside of the track.
Yes.
No, not like.
Yeah, no, that's a perfectly viable use as long as you're not selling the footage. The FAA instituted new regulation, the new regulations and guidelines for
Drone use.
drone use,
Hobby aircraft.
and now recommends only permits flight under 400 feet.
That's always been the case.
And must be a certain distance away from all people, structures, vehicles.
500 feet.
And
Line of sight.
The operator, person actually flying it, holding the transmitter, must have line of sight, and restricting FPV flight also.
Is the restriction on FPV flight simply because if you have the goggles on for FPV flight, you can't see the drone?
No, FPV flight is anything that has the direct, just a camera on the drone. So
that means
not
the
letting-
DJI Phantom 2's
counts
vision.
counts as FPV.
What if you don't have the app on?
Then it's okay.
Can you fly it without the app on?
Yeah,
Why would they ban FPV flight?
because they're afraid that people are going to be looking down and not up.
Oh, looking down at the display
Mhm.
rather than up at the drone.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
People are not happy.
Is the concern that they don't want them to fly into airplanes or
That's
buildings?
absolutely one of the concerns. Yes, losing control at any time. It's very high risk.
So what did we do wrong, Norm?
We took the Phantom out earlier and flew it over a street, which was not good. We flew it out over the bay, but
That
it
was
crossed
okay.
two main streets.
Well,
One main
that's
street with
two
two
ways,
directions
yeah.
to get over the bay.
And a big, heavily trafficked pedestrian walkway.
And then it was obscured from our vision behind a big tree.
And a tower.
I think beyond the tower.
Could you see it on the other side of the tower? Do you have X-ray vision, Norm?
No, I
Right.
did not have X-ray vision. But they're cracking down. In New York this week, a police helicopter reported that a drone flew past it,
Whoa, really?
and I think the distance from the helicopter was about 800 feet past it, so it was in the helicopter's line of sight. And then the helicopter pilot saw where the drone landed, and the police arrested the two people and charged them with reckless endangerment.
Wow. That's good. That's right. They should arrest people who fly near helicopters and airplanes.
Yeah, I used to take helicopter lessons, and that would have been scary.
Scary. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Helicopters.
It's hard flying.
That's a
helicopter.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically coming at you or in your vicinity.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to fly a helicopter, let alone have to worry about.
Yes.
Helicopters are a good way to die.
Yeah.
There's no recovering if you're once you flip upside down.
There's helicopters that can fly upside down. They can
Yeah.
do loops and stuff.
Airwolf.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, if you look, you can look up on like Red Bull videos and stuff like that. They have all these like, you can fly like hundreds of knots, like 100 and some knots backwards and sideways, and
It's a lifting body, just like a wing. You know, there's no reason you
Yeah.
can't go upside down.
yeah, they do loops and
That's
barrel
terrifying.
rolls and stuff. Oh yeah,
Terrifying.
Crazy. Yeah, you can do it.
Why does nobody make quadcopter helicopters? Like I see the Sea Knights occasionally in the Chinooks because they fly by my house. The two rotors vertical. Why are there not quadcopters for humans?
I don't.
That's a
I
good
think
question.
that's maybe power inefficient. You
Power
get
to
increased
weight,
maneuverability, but
but like it would tear us apart.
you don't want that kind of maneuverability anyway when you're flying inside a helicopter. I guess maybe you do. I don't know.
I don't know.
Humans
it
are
would probably
fragile.
Make for a more stable flying situation. I mean, it's pretty tough.
We should
I
ask
think it'd be
Jamie
really
this.
big. They'd be really big.
I'm fine
It
with
doesn't
that.
have to be. I mean, if you think about even like the small ones, like Robinson 22s and stuff like that, they're not that big.
Well, I'm saying, but
But
if
if
you're
you
doing
took-
four, they need to be spaced out far enough.
Well, no,
so
because you can have
props.
them
You could have-
two higher and two lower. That's how Chinooks work. Because the propellers overlap in most of the two
Yeah,
prop front and back helicopters.
and then you could have smaller props because
More, yeah. Each one needs to do a quarter
Can
the
the-
work they would have to do otherwise.
yeah,
Can a helicopter rotor spin up and slow down fast enough for that to be taken advantage of?
Well, helicopter rotors don't work like quad rotors. So the helicopter rotors have linkages, so they generate varying amounts of lift based on like the collective, right?
Well, the collective.
But then can they coordinate then?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that could all be. It could
Take into
probably
account. I don't know.
If you can make software to make a quad work, you can make software to make a helicopter work. Because all modern airplanes are fly-by-wire anyway these days, big ones at least. So yeah. Why are there no? This is a good question.
Build a helicopter.
Yeah, Elon Musk, get on this, will you?
Let's
call him out.
If only we knew people who build stuff on a large scale. It's dangerous. Martha Stewart made a mistake too.
What about Martha Stewart? Martha Stewart's flying quadcopters
She's a
now?
DJI Phantom 2 owner as well, or one of her bodyguards is. One of her security team members is.
Hey, Martha, check out what I got.
It's
a quadcopter.
She flew it to take aerial pictures of her house and her estate.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
But it's so big, she had to get to 900 feet to do it. So 900 feet is how many feet above the legal FAA mandated limit?
500.
Yeah. Martha, I wouldn't do anything to send you back to federal prison, but you better be careful. They're coming for you.
Yeah, but she didn't go to like Orange is the New Black prison. She went to like college dormitory.
Orange
is the New Black prison seems like college dormitory prison to me.
It does
it seems better than what I expected prison to be like. I can't imagine. Who was Martha Stewart's roommate in prison? I'm looking this up now.
No, she did have one. She knitted them something.
Yeah.
She talked about learning something. I remember when she came out of prison, she had like a big blanket and
to cover her face?
No. That she knit.
Oh.
Like a.
Her roommate was Kimberly Renee Bennett, 33. This is in People magazine.
Which family was she in? Which clique?
She must have been in the geriatrics, right?
The oldies.
Or did she hang out with the Russians?
The old fogies. They called them the Golden Girls.
Really?
The Golden Girls in the all women's prison are the old ones.
Kimberly Renee Bennett was 33 and serving 50 months for conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
Okay.
So there you go.
All
right. And she watched Martha's back.
She started a yoga class. She lobbied to have yogurt sold in the vending machines.
Wow.
And she sent signed pictures of herself to relatives of prisoners. That must be what she did to get cigarettes. And how she discreetly distributed goodbye care packages filled with toiletries and other necessities purchased with her $290 allowance at the commissary to some of the needier inmates.
Wow.
She always uttered her trademark exclamation, "fabulous," and never acted higher than anybody else because she would have gotten shivved. So there you go.
I have a friend that's in federal white collar prison.
If I've learned anything from Orange is the New Black, it's you should never discuss that stuff on the media.
Public radio.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I have a friend.
No, I know.
Male, female.
Male.
I imagine that's got to be a slightly different.
Yeah. It's a little less
culture.
jovial.
I actually have an app on my phone that I can email with him.
Really?
Yeah.
What happens?
You send an email. I'm assuming somebody checks these things, but
right. I mean, they read all the letters.
Yeah. But I mean, it's mostly like, hey, how you doing? How's your appeal going?
And how does your friend read the letter?
I think he gets computer access. I think in white collar,
it's
minimum security something. I think you get
some limited computer access.
I think so. I believe so.
Guys,
that's real interesting.
Martha Stewart almost spent time in Litchfield.
What's that?
The prison in Orange is the New Black.
Really?
Yeah.
She could have done some color commentary on the TV show.
She ended up going to Danbury instead. Oh, Danbury is the prison that Orange's Litchfield is based on. But she ended up going someplace else instead. There you go. That's what we got on Drone News this week. And that'll do it for news. Let's take a couple of musical break here and talk about what we've been testing. Norman Chan.
I got a smartwatch. Another smartwatch. Nope. Smartwatch.
Smartwatch 2.0.
This is the Galaxy, or this is not the Galaxy Gear. This is the LG G Watch, because I didn't want to get the Galaxy Gear.
It's got a color screen.
Has an LCD screen.
Yeah.
It's a crappy LCD screen.
Like bad in terms of clarity or brightness or both?
Brightness and clarity's okay. It's definitely not a quote-unquote retina screen. But the things I can do are very useful. Access Google Now. I can say, okay, Google.
Okay. Google.
How long was Martha Stewart in prison?
5 months.
5 months. Google said exactly. That's the only result.
People magazine told me that a minute ago. What else can you use it for? Can you send texts from it?
I can. So if someone sends me a text message, which is handled through Google Hangouts.
Okay, Google.
Nope.
Is it keyed to your voice?
It's not keyed to voice, but the microphone is very small, so you have to bring it up close.
Okay, Google. That worked.
There you go.
Duck pornography.
Nope.
Were people doing this to you when you were wearing your Google glass?
It doesn't work. You have to tap it first.
Or look up.
Yeah, or go like that. So somebody could be like, look up. And
I have to look down.
okay, Google.
So you can use it to do anything you can do with Google now, like set reminders at certain times, track your pedometer steps, send a text. So I can do things like send Will Smith a text message. Are you podcasting right now? Hold on. No. Send Will Smith a text message. When are we podcasting?
Question mark.
Which Will Smith?
How many Will Smiths do you know? Welcome to Earth. Guys, this just in. Breaking news. There is potentially a summer version of the polar vortex coming next week.
The summer vortex?
It's a polar vortex still, but in the summer.
The warmy vortex?
It could get cold. That's all I know.
Hey, Will, did you get a text message?
I did.
And it showed up on you, and it showed up in his smartwatch.
Your text message says, "When is the polar vortex coming next week?"
Oh my god!
Fucking smartwatches.
So,
this is a stupid category. I'm increasingly turning the corner.
I'm the
on
only
this.
one without a smartwatch and without glasses.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the nerd, or maybe you're just a different kind of nerd.
Different brand. Different brand.
So it will give me all the Google Now notifications popped up, like how long it takes my drive to go to drive home, sports scores I care about that I've told Google Now I care about,
movie tickets that are available, package deliveries.
It doesn't do the bullshit stuff from Google Now, such as the movie stuff.
That stuff usually comes in later.
Location based, like restaurants near you.
Weather?
None of that. It does do weather. It does do packages.
Okay.
And I can respond with text messages from the phone with very simple yes or no responses.
That is the one thing I wish the Pebble did.
So it has a list of generic responses: yes, no, okay. I can't talk now.
Can you do voice responses?
You well, you can voice. Like what I did was manually send a voice message, but not respond to one.
You know what Apple added in this next round of OS updates that Google didn't is the Snapchat style stuff, like the one-off voice responses and stuff like that.
On Facebook Messenger, you could do voice messages.
They probably only show you like a third of what people send you, though, right?
No. Like I have a open conversation with a bunch of friends, and
you just take a tap to talk.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callbacks.
Yeah, I missed
It's
that.
okay.
I think the battery life is crap.
How long is the battery life, Norm?
It's 1 day.
Are you charging it every day?
You have to charge every day. It does not last 2 days. At night, even though it doesn't go to zero, and in the 3 days I've had this, it has not gone to zero by the end of the day. You do need to charge it because it's at like 30 or 20% by the end of the day.
Is it a Wi-Fi connection when you're on Wi-Fi, or is it always Bluetooth to your phone?
Always Bluetooth to the phone.
Does it impact your phone's battery life?
No. And my phone, this fat phone, has awesome battery life.
Well, I mean, with that much space, there should be a big ass battery in there.
It's an interesting product. I'll be using it more, and then we'll do a review.
Frank,
Yes.
you're new to the show.
Yes.
We do the segment we call "What We've Been Testing," where we talk about things that we have tested. I don't mean to put you on the spot because I meant to discuss this before we started, and then I forgot to. But is there anything you'd like to talk about? We have more stuff.
I've recently tested a new epoxy from Smooth On.
Ooh.
It's
hold on, I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
Is epoxy just a way of saying it's a two-phase thing that you have to combine two things?
No.
No.
No, epoxy is a specific kind of plastic. There's urethanes, there's polyesters, there's epoxies. The epoxy that I made, that giant dragon thing for Capcom, it's a brand new epoxy, and it's really great.
The Monster Hunter monster.
The Monster Hunter monster. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Right.
The Gormagala. It's a new epoxy. So I've been testing that.
But okay, so this is something we talked about. Well, we talked about this some on.
We'll have some
an episode of Still Untitled that will be up in a few weeks the week after Comic-Con, I think.
Yes.
But when you one of the things that you do, because you do a lot of sculpting and casting and resin stuff, and you're always paying attention to what's happening in the materials world.
New material. You have to stay up on new materials because there's always things that might do something better or be
or,
easier to work
or
with
faster or whatever. Right?
Yeah, well, like once you know your handful of like criteria for what you're looking for, the durometer, which is how soft or hard something is, the work time, which is how long you have to like pour it into a mold, the
like from the time you mix it up.
Yeah, from the time you mix it up, and then like how long its full cure is. Sometimes it's overnight, sometimes it's 20 minutes. Like once you know all these different criteria, you can kind of find things that fit all those criteria to do what you need to do. So I'm always looking at new materials to find which ones do all kinds of weird things.
Cool.
So yeah,
What's the name of the epoxy? Do you
it's
remember?
called Freeform Habitat. It's
Sounds like it should be a tent.
well, it's originally designed to build like habitats in aquariums. Like if you watch that big aquarium show that they build like things in Vegas or something.
Nope,
Like,
never watched that.
that's all right. I don't
But like
watch
the
soccer
rocks
either.
on the bottom of the
Yeah, like coral or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like if you have a big giant thing. and
like
you put a
instead of
bunch-
making it out of fiberglass or plastic or something like that.
yeah, if you have like PVC pipes, instead of having PVC pipes in the background of your big giant aquarium, you could build it to look like coral, and the stuff kind of adheres to that, and you could sculpt it and whatever. So that's what it was designed for. But I ended up using it to build this big giant dragon, and figuring out how to like sculpt it with traditional sculpting tools and stuff like that.
Does that mean you could put him in the bottom of an aquarium and he would look awesome?
Yeah, this thing would probably survive outside in the elements pretty well.
That's cool. Because a lot of the stuff that you used for like masks and stuff, like Zoidberg there,
Yeah, this
has to stay out of the UV or else
Yeah.
he will disintegrate eventually.
UV
right?
and actually air will deteriorate foam latex quicker, which is why this is just, if it gets messed up, then I'm not really all that worried. I'll just make another one.
But at some point you'll cast him out of silicone or
Yeah.
something that'll be a little more resilient.
Yeah, I'm going to make you guys a silicone one that you'll
Have in
put
the
up in
office.
here somewhere.
Hell yeah, put him right on the wall.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm testing that.
Norman and I built a printer bot.
Well,
We're building.
we're building a printer bot. I guess this is good time as any to tell you that next week.
Yeah.
Come on the site to watch us build a printer bot through your printer.
The month of building begins on Monday.
We're doing a month of building stuff.
Mm-hmm.
4 projects, 1 week each, hopefully.
The first one is presented by Tested Premium members. The others are going to be for premium members only.
And
But the first one will be on
and
YouTube.
we're
and
not
that's
saying
the
what
printer bot.
everything is, but the printer bot is the first one.
Yeah. It was interesting. I hadn't spent any time with a printer bot before. And actually, we hadn't spent much time with inexpensive 3D printers. But it's a really neat little machine. We've just gotten it set up, and I've done the first like 2 or 3 prints.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much about the build.
But
there could be
the build is
drama.
interesting. Yeah, and there's stuff goes wrong. It's good. But that's daily. So that'll be up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I also got to, because that machine supports Octoprint, I installed Octoprint last night, which is a piece of software that it's like a server that lets you turn a 3D printer into a network accessible print server. So instead of having to have a laptop or a computer or something plugged into it all the time, you can put it on a Raspberry Pi or something really small and then just send G-code files to it using your web browser.
Wow.
And even from your phone and upload. Depends on your phone, whether your phone knows what to do with G-code files. But you can print and see like a webcam view of the print and all that kind of stuff across the internet. I mean, it's not that big a deal since our printer is like 8 feet that way. But, if we're out of the office or something like that, I can see how print's coming. And if it's failed, and stop it before I make too much, printer pubes. So that's
pubes.
good. Printer pubes. I also, I think I finished the videos for my desk build. I learned to weld for this.
Which kind of weld?
MIG.
Yeah.
Which is what Adam and other people have all told us is the easiest way to glue metal to other metal.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still a fair amount of finesse to the whole thing. I don't know if you're a welder, Frank.
I know a little bit of welding. I'm not really great at it, but
I know enough to do the things that I need to do the thing I needed to do at this point, very slowly and inefficiently. But yeah, I got my frame. I built a desk for my computer and stuff at home, maybe even here, I don't know. That's got a metal frame that a wooden top rests on, and then I've got to do some finishing work to finish the top and get the metal powder coated and all that kind of stuff. But it turned out really well, and the video will be up this shortly after this podcast goes up.
can't
If you
wait
want
to
watch
see
the
it.
last episode. I finally do, like, every time when you're learning to weld, when you're first starting out, literally every time you put a bead down, you're like, that's the best one I've done yet.
did you remember to wear like long sleeve shirt?
Adam in his metal shop has a bunch of like leather jackets, so I just got real sweaty.
There was one time that I totally wasn't paying attention. I was
no.
tacking a bunch of things together, and the light that comes off of a weld, it's UV light. And I got sunburn on my arms, and it was the worst thing ever.
It's really intense UV, right?
Yeah.
And you have to wear like a high neck shirt and the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. I'm just tacking something together real quick, and it ended up being a bunch of things I had to tack together.
I did one thing where I was alternating between. I was like, as I was touching up, I was alternating between grinding and welding, and I would take the welding mask off, put the grinding mask on, which is clear and you can see through, and grind. And once, and only once, I will never make this mistake again. But I forgot to switch masks. Or maybe I switched masks and then switched back or whatever. But I was like, this was a mistake. I immediately know why this was a mistake. I just hid the barest spark on the bead. It's a lot of fun. It's really neat. And the skill ceiling on that is infinite, I think.
Yeah, there's friends that I had back in Cleveland that worked for Lincoln Electric, and they could weld the edges of razor blades together.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing everybody always says when they teach TIG welding is that the old guys who made aircraft, welded aircraft parts, can weld like a Wrigley spearmint or cigarette foil package to another piece of cigarette foil. And I didn't appreciate what a fucking incredibly skilled thing that was until I started splattering metal everywhere and kind of figuring out the hard way.
No, it's a thing, man. It's fun though. It's fun once you like get the hang of it, like just building stuff.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, were we not talking about sports?
No.
Norman's not a sports fan normally. Baseball and soccer.
You mentioned Wrigley's gum, which made me think of this. Will, are you at the episode in Orange is the New Black where they use the gum thing? You should be.
No,
gum wrappers.
I'm
gum wrappers.
I'm at the one where
have gum wrappers appeared in your
No, I don't think so. I saw bathrooms changed last night or night before last.
I've only seen one episode, so I don't look at it.
It's so good.
Something can you make a lighter with a gum wrapper and a battery?
Maybe like you can make a spark, maybe like a 9-volt battery.
No, make a lighter with a AA battery.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Do they do that in the...
Yes.
Do you
basically foil or
do they crack it open?
Wrapper, they
crack the battery open?
Nope. It's putting the ends together.
That'll make a spark, but that won't make fire without something else to burn.
Will the wrapper light on fire?
I have no idea.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
We should test that.
You should get Adam to test that.
We can test that. We don't need Adam to test that.
I don't want to blow something up.
I don't think nothing's going to blow up.
It's probably going to be okay.
Okay.
Because in the prison, they have cigarettes, or cigarettes somehow come in, and to light them, they have batteries and they're chewing gum, and they're folding the wrappers, the metal ends of the wrappers, folding them and squeezing them against a battery, and then it lights up. Now, it could be complete bullcrap.
So there are a lot of YouTube videos about this that are mostly titled "How to Make a Prison Lighter from a Bubblegum Wrapper and a AA Battery."
Yes, exactly. And apparently you can make a prison lighter?
Let's see. You open up a stick of gum, you flatten it out. I'm watching a YouTube video right now.
We should do this. We should do prison life hacks.
There you go.
There's a lot of prison life hack stories. That was the other thing that came up. So they're cutting the edge off with scissors, which is something I don't think you would have in prison.
Well,
I feel
if
like
it's middle
scissors,
security, I think you could have scissors.
Maybe if you take it to the shop with you. So like metal foil is pretty flammable. Because like if you think about it, steel wool, like if you're camping or you're a survivalist, and you want to make sure you can light a fire at any point. Steel wool without soap on it burns like crazy when hit with a little bit of magnesium and a spark.
I carry a lot of magnesium with me.
A block of magnesium is a good thing to have if you want to make fire.
Yeah.
You don't have magnesium just in the shop?
No, you know what?
I guess fire is your enemy.
I had a
with
friend
all the
that
stuff.
was a machinist, and he machined a lot of magnesium, and so he had a coffee can of magnesium shavings that he brought camping with us one time. And he put
Jesus Christ
a handful of them in the fire, which made a big.
Yeah.
But then, as it sat there, it turned into a little molten blob of magnesium in the center of the fire.
That's bad.
And he goes, "Hey Frank, go get the hose," because it was like a public campground where they had the hose.
Yeah.
He goes, "Pointed at that. When you hit a molten pile of magnesium with water, it separates the hydrogen and the oxygen, and a flame goes straight up like 40 feet. It's crazy."
That's really dangerous.
I'm sure
super
it was. But
duper dangerous. Yeah, I know.
Campfire hacks.
Yeah.
Camping hacks.
Yeah, do not do these things.
So I'm watching the video, and it looks like what happened. The way this works is that you get the foil thin enough that the resistance of it is such that it catches on the paper on fire.
So when you say thin enough, you mean
like you make the piece flat, and then you cut a very thin,
thin
wide
slice.
strip that goes to a thin strip, that goes to a wide strip, and that thin strip, the resistance will be such that it'll heat up in the paper.
I want to see. I mean, I assume that if you don't have tools like straight edges and X-Actos.
Let me go ahead and tell you.
Rip it, maybe.
Can you tear that thin?
I'll tell you. Yeah, you can fold and tear. Here's the thing: is if you're in prison, you have infinite time. All of the tools that we use on a day-to-day basis are to make things go faster. Not a problem in prison. Lots of
time.
It's like the song says.
Let's make some prison lighters.
You know what the song at the beginning says, right?
What song at what beginning?
The Orange is the New Black theme song.
The animals.
They've got time. It sounds like they're saying diamonds, but it's really time. It's the name of the song.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think Orange is the New Black just got nominated for some Emmys.
Yes.
It should.
All the Emmy nominations just popped up today.
Yes.
They got a ton of them.
Congrats to Adam.
It's
and
great.
Jamie. They were nominated.
Oh yeah, they got what is this, like their 800th time that they've been nominated?
6th or 7th or something. Yeah.
Sixth Emmy nomination.
So anyway, the last test bit will be up soon. I'm gonna probably not finish it on video because I think that all the sanding and staining and powder coating and all that stuff is probably going to be boring to watch because it'll be a lot of, or maybe more accurately, a real pain in the ass to shoot because it's like do something for 10 minutes and then wait 3 hours and come back and then do something for 10 minutes and then wait 3 hours and come back.
Maybe a wrap-up video.
Either a wrap-up video or I'll probably do blog posts if I had to guess. Do a couple of blog posts because I have to do a little bit of mechanical stuff left. And I'm going to probably get the frame powder coated. It's square
I'd like
steel
to see
tubing.
a wrap-up video.
You want a wrap-up video?
Yeah, even if it's short, even if it's just a couple minutes. Hey,
Something
here's what I
shoot on
did.
my
This is
phone?
what I did. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's get crazy.
Shoot it on Norm's phone. See how his camera
My
is.
camera's
4K.
better.
See?
4K
Oh, we could do
video.
4K.
I can shoot 4K.
Yeah, I bet you my iPhone camera's better.
4K, Frank.
Norm was never about megapixels until he got that big fucking phone.
More Ks and more GBs.
I got hella GBs.
Your GBs all over the place. On that note, do we want to take a couple of reader questions, or we're kind of bingo on time? Huh?
Yeah, we are low on time.
Okay, so let's call it. We'll answer these questions next week.
Yeah, because none of them are going to be for me, so I'll just be
No,
bored.
it's always for Will, Norm, and some other person. That's what they always ask for. We'll be back next Thursday with another edition of This Is Only a Test.
with no questions for me.
Send all your questions to Frank to Norman at tested.com. We'll be back next week with another edition of this. Frank, if people want to find you, where can they find you? You have an Instagram, you have a Twitter, you have
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
What's the Instagram? What's your handle?
Is at Frank Ippolito. So is Twitter.
Okay.
IPPOLITO.
That's easy.
And then Facebook is facebook.com/Ippolito.frank.
Okay. So there's another Frank Ippolito out there that beat you to it, huh?
Yeah, I think he's some pastor or something silly.
Well, that's got to be a unfortunate confusion.
Yeah, I actually found the church that he's a pastor at, and I got the phone number in my phone, and every once in a while I'll drunk dial it and just prank him.
That's not nice.
Frank.
I don't care.
Frank, it's me, Frank.
Oh, is this Frank Ippolito? It's Frank Ippolito here. What are you talking about, jerky? Yeah.
And then I have frankippolito.com, which I'm working on updating the website since web designers are the flakiest people on the planet. I taught myself a new program.
Which was?
Adobe Muse.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of newish. And I'm pretty happy with it.
Cool.
So the new site should be going up in the next, hopefully in a week or two.
You know, before I unlisted my phone number, for many, many years when I lived in Tennessee, there was every Saturday night, or not every Saturday, but frequently on Saturday night, some kids would go over to their friend's house, have sleepovers. They'd pick up the phone book and they'd look for Will Smith, and they'd call my phone number and sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song.
Did you cry yourself to sleep every time that happened?
You got a free show every week.
Every once in a while, it depends on my state of inebriation. So sometimes I would be very aggressive with the 12-year-olds and make them cry. I'm not proud of that, but most of the time I just didn't answer the phone on Saturday night.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And on that note, Norman Chan, we have some good stuff. Oh, you should go if you we for many years now we've been promising a full tour of Adam's Cave. You can now both tour at your own pace with Google Street View, or you can go to watch a video of Adam giving you a guided tour of places we've never been before. Places you and I have never been before. You and I have never been into the costume attic.
Sure.
He takes people into the attic. Joey almost died in the making of that video. There was high drama. So
Really?
Go watch that video, enjoy it. And then tomorrow we have stuff that I can't remember
Don't worry about it.
now. There's 2 videos going up tomorrow. I know that. There's a MakerBot.
Stuff with Planet of the Apes.
There's a MakerBot and some stuff from your Planet of the Apes junket. So we'll be back. And we have a party at Comic-Con.
Yes.
So if it's right now, if you are a tested premium member, you can go on the site. In the blog roll someplace is a thing that says announcing incognito our party at Comic-Con. If you were going to be at Comic-Con or in San Diego over the week of Comic-Con, which this is on Friday the 25th of July, you can sign up if you're a tested premium member and RSVP to come to the party.
I'll be there.
Frank will be there.
Zoidberg will be there.
Zoidberg will be there.
Are you going to be there as Zoidberg or are you going to be there as Frank?
No. I'm going to be there as Frank.
You should be there.
People can take photos with Zoidberg.
Yes, I think
Are
so.
we going to put him on a dummy? Or
Yeah,
is it
you
You can wear it if you want. Well,
Thanks.
I mean,
I'd love to wear it.
No, yeah.
Just let me put my head in there. Oh, beardy. Yeah, we're having a party. If you are a tested premium member, you can RSVP. You will get put on a special list. It is a relatively small venue, but people who are premium members will go in before people who are general just show up on the street people. So we're really excited about it. If you are not a tested premium member, then we have a special offer that's running right now where if you sign up, instead of getting a $15 coupon for merchandise in the store, we are giving away an awesome art print that's designed by Adam. That design will be revealed in coming weeks, and it is really cool.
I think it's cool. I saw it this morning.
You saw it this morning. It's super awesome.
Yeah.
I would put it on my wall. I think it's really cool.
But I also got a tested shirt when I signed up for premium.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the 8-bit shirt.
Oh, you did? We don't have any of those.
Really? I went on there and signed up for premium just so I could get that shirt.
You could. Thank you, Frank. I would have. I really like that shirt. I thought that design was really cool.
Yeah.
We've never seen one of those in person.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
You know what? I always avoid wearing it when I'm with you guys.
No.
It's not like you want to wear
You should
a
wear it.
concert shirt.
No, it's totally no rules
wear
about it. Norm wears shirts
I
with me on
recognize
them
that
all the
guy.
time.
I'll wear it at the incognito party. How about that?
Yeah, you can dress up fancier than that at the incognito.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming by, Frank.
Yep. Thank you
Bye,
for
guys.
having me.
Today's outro is brought to us by KJN. Hi there, I didn't see you.
Be careful with the drone. Or be careful with the drone. Or...
In retrospect, maybe that wasn't the best choice.